All right, folks, this is Umbrasong's place. We're over in the spooky part of Founders, and immediately we have like this. This totally has the vibe of the area like next to Brill, close to Undercity. Even like the lighting and all that, I feel like that's sort of being set up. But what we're seeing here is what feels like a flight point tower, because you have the lower elevation, higher elevation. At some point, the big old goblin zeppelin will come by. Just kidding, they don't do that anymore. You just have portals, and then that's pretty much it. So what we have here, we have this sort of like dilapidated look to it. Loving it already. Busted walls, things aren't looking so great, or if anything, they've been unkept. The passage of time has not been kind to this place, because someone didn't plant their walls deep enough, and so now they're like sinking in, which is just terrible. Behind here, though, we have this crypt sort of thing set up, which has some loam soil. We have some beams to just have like grave markers. That's about it. We have a sort of like exposed backside. Most of what we're looking at is comprised of that tower. So we'll take a look at that in a bit. And then on the side here, they just have like this kind of attachments sort of set up, but it's also been boulderized, as in, it's just kind of like this ruined space. The topper of the house, it's been replaced a bit by these, looks like tents, because we see like those hook things over there. Actually, no. One tent, because those are the hooks that are for that tent. All right, so let's take a look at this tower of sorts. So it's the kind of tower, it's the kind of setup where it wasn't meant to be climbed, so not like the OG one over in Brill. But we do have here, let me just land here real quick. But we do have this full setup here. And it looks pretty accurate. It has all the shaping right. You know what I mean? You have your Razorwind bar tables being set up, and then up top you have a wagon to act as the topper. Yeah, like I said, it's the shaping is great. You have this instantly recognizable thing for those who are familiar with the Undercity and WoW and whatnot. It's like, oh, I know what that is, right away. That's how I'm taking it, at least. Right up front, we have one more wagon to set up the whole door. Right through this rogue flag, and then we're pretty much climbing into the wagon too. You can sort of see here, and then beyond that ruined boulder right there, we kind of squeeze our way inside. So I want to point out, as we're going in, chances are pretty good that the visits that we're doing throughout this week or so, they're going to be a bit like borked, because you can see like how the floor is flickering right there. I'm pretty sure that's the boss changing things around. There's like this bug where all the floors have been reset to like a certain style. I believe it's the folk look. So we'll just keep that in mind, and let ourselves just we'll just kind of gloss over that, right? It is a bug though, and it's expected to be fixed at some point. But as we come in, we already have like this really tight look. Right, so we kind of like make our way in. We run into this immediate sort of like laboratory setup. We have our ingredients back here. We got delicious green soup and a lovely glow to go with it. I think it's coming from that sconce as well. But yeah, immediate like small lab, which is like, okay, they want to come in here. They want to get straight to work. You know what I mean? But again, note the low ceiling. But there's also like some cool detail up here. There's like some candle work that's set up there. Oh, on both sides here too. Also note how the beams are set up in like this kind of like this, not dilapidated, but like this complicated setup. And then right here, you can see the actual roof of this particular room. But yeah, you have like this, like I said, it's a really like tight space that they're setting up here. So we make our way into this other kind of a processing room, not a morgue. It's more like processing that's happening over here. But we're also making drinks. This is an experimental bar. It's like, what happens when we take like this alcohol and like these spritzers and like coffee and what have you? We get bodies. Yeah. We get dead people, so that's probably it. So from here, I think this is the previous room, or this is this just like some dilapidation again? So let me go around here. Yeah, so it looks like that's just a kind of a messed up closet space, or like a piece of furniture that's been like shoved aside. But yeah, very windy, very tight. And then we make our way through. So notice the lighting. The lighting has been dimmed, and so we're kind of at the mercy of whatever lighting has been made available. So sorry if things seem a little bit dark, but that's okay. That's the kind of vibe we're trying to get here. We're going through now this sort of underground spots, and you can see like the very light illumination coming from this source over here. We'll go under this sort of upside down acacia tree and into a morgue. Oh, no, a crypt. A very big crypt. Ooh. So check out how this is set up. So we have some walls being set up here, multiple walls there, but also these Gilnean walls that are providing most of the big shaping here. You know, you see here as a floor trim and kind of a ceiling trim here. And we're gonna probably see that for a little while. Love the debris work too. You know, good use of, rocks of different sizes as well as paving stones to set up that vibe. It's kind of weird how the Gilnean walls, they have like this weird sort of like color tone shift, or the way that the lighting sits on it kind of looks funny, but it helps to create this sort of surreal vibe here, especially with the lighting here. So now we're going through really check out the wall work that's here. Super tight, as I said, so here I am. There's not a whole lot of room to like move around, and now we seem to have like some diverging paths. So we have I love this layout because it's very odd. It's very like confusing and disorienting and all that. So yeah, there are multiple options we have here, but we're gonna go this way first. We continue going like this has, I believe the notes here, they wanted to have a Scholomance like Crypt. I think this delivers. It feels like we're in 2004 again. Kind of, sort of. Resolution's a little better. Textures are a little bit sharper, but it definitely has that feel. So great job of setting that theme. And did they just open the door? Did I click that? The heck? Okay, I'm pretty sure I clicked that because that was kind of creepy. So we go through like this next crypt sort of room. Yeah, and like there's lots of different decor being used to dress these spots. And thanks to the lighting, they all sort of like meld together in a good way. So notice here you have like these color tones that are like a little bit different, but it's hard to tell. It makes it not really a big deal. And then you have these other subtle glows coming from that light source, coming from like, I think there's like a candle there too. Yeah, again, really creepy, but also really neat. All right, so there's a shroud there. Here might be a dead end. And then here we have like this kind of special spots for a dead statue. Oh, poor statue. May they rest in peace. Oh, but that's cool. We have a place to kneel to like say what's up to our little statue friend. Yeah, I'll take this very lightheartedly too. But now let's go through this shroud here. Now it kind of opens up a little bit. We're still in this like very ruined spot. Debris over here. There's like this junk. Things are like caved in. All sorts of damage. Beams are barely holding things together, but then we have like this nice little fountain. Hey. So it's it's one nice bright little spot, a little bit of a break from the action we've been seeing up until this point. So I don't think there's anything special back here, is there? No, doesn't look like it. So let's kind of meander our way back. Yeah, the Gilnean walls are not that expensive, but really good use of them. And it's the fact that they're not expensive that you can just go nuts with them. And there are things we can forgive too, like here, like we see like some sort of like clipping going on, but then we're seeing like just like this huge mess overall. And so all of that we just can very easily overlook. All right, so we went through this path. And so I came from here. Now we're going to the right, so to speak. And again, you can see like how like these beams and pillars are barely holding things together. Up above, you have dirt as well. Yeah, so like this kind of like hardened dirt that really wants to fall, but it's not, thankfully. All right, so we got kind of a path that way, and then let me look here. Let's see what's going on this way, because this looks like a kind of like a closed off spot. Just kidding. So that's a closed off spot. We should have some coffin work going over there. Dude, this is a very occupied crypt. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Wow. And now let's go to this spot. So some sort of work is happening here. Someone is relaxing. Someone's like, I'll take a break here. It's all good. Yeah, neat. But now, okay, now we're encountering like this kind of like mysterious growth. And these aren't your normal greens, especially in a spot like this. You know, this definitely has kind of like the Scourge Plague sort of vibe to it, right? So it's like, oh, Herondar, it's so pretty and pleasant. There's a way you can shift these vibes into something that's a lot more creepy overall. Yeah, so here you have like these Herondar dreams that are like leaking in, trying to invade, but then now we kind of like break from that. So that's kind of a themed room, but we're going through like this blasted out area. Again, check out the debris work here. All sorts of like dilapidated walls and just garbage. Now we're sort of like trying to navigate our way through all this debris, upturned things, coffins, lids are just flying all over the place. And then through the cleansing fire, nice and safe. Go around here. And I'm not sure. And then I think we're climbing. Yeah. Ooh, great. Dude, this layout is crazy. And especially the vibe. Ooh, man. Really good work. Really, really good work. I'm climbing up beams. I'm climbing up pillars. There's like upside down stuff. Yeah. All of a sudden, we're upside down. Yeah, so here's some light sources. And then there's like a table and a book. Oh, what is going on? Oh, that's really neat. Really. And then what's here? Are those chains? Yeah. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so there's creepy stuff back there, and opening that door does not produce anything pleasant at all. Can I close that door? Nope. I'm just gonna move on instead then. All right, so we climb up through here, and then I don't know. Can I? Oh, okay. So I can climb above these. Oh boy! Wow. Okay, so now we're above the floor, but at the same time, this is upside down. I think. Yeah. Yikes! And then right through here is okay. Here's a different door. Okay, so there's a door, and then up above is another door, which I know I can't get to. Dude, this is a trip. This is straight out of hell. Okay, so now we drop down. Okay, so we drop down. There's a trapdoor, but then here's a sudden spot. Okay, so we have a suddenly troll shrine, complete with giant face to stare at us. I can't say it enough. I love the troll decor. The way that it's like drawn and set up looks so good. Love it. Absolutely love them. But yeah, rando troll shrine there as we make our way down to God knows what. Okay, so now where are we? Now we go up here and down, and oh, this is the original plan. Oh, so this was a secret passageway. Oh, so we just looped around. That's neat. That's very neat. Great work. Absolutely great work on that. Yeah, now we have like this kind of like long backtrack, but it feels like this room here, it's like things have been like folded up and crumpled up, because you can see how like there's like the coffins that are up there as well. It's just if like someone like grabbed a normal crypt and they just like rolled it up like, you know, like a nori or something like that. That's cool. All right, we'll continue to backtrack because I think there was like another path that we haven't taken yet. So we go through here, and then like note there, we just have like you know, more crypt stuff over there, and then this way is a spot. But now we're finally backtracking to where we wanted to go. So now we're going here. Yikes! All right. Now what do we have? So again, you know, ruins. That has not changed at all. That has been the very consistent theme ever since we went through like that initial lab area at the start of the build. But yeah, just check out like the massive use of these Gildan walls. They are carrying this place. So we have a little study over there. We have an unknown hallway over there in this sort of T-shaped room. But let's see what's going on up in here. All right, so this is the most complete place that we've seen so far. Or at least a place that looks like it's actually lived in. And there's the boss. Totally not creepy. So and so here's like their library of sorts. You know, the lighting really sets the mood with these like soft, subtle greens and purples on the other end. And then you have, you know, the kind of the core being used really helps to set the tone. You have these older style books here. Now it's kind of curious that there's a gap back here, but let's just, you know, whatever, you know, not a big deal. We'll just pretend that yes, this is in fact a very circular room. It's neat. But I can't help but feel like there's more, there might be more to this room. So let's explore just a little bit more. Like I didn't see any obvious shelf, but I'm not sure if I'm meant to like try and explore like behind these sort of like giant bookshelf pillars. Because note how you have these Gildan walls, and then above it you have, you know, here's like the bookshelves and stuff. So yeah, I don't happen to see any secrets here, which is okay. It's simply a very nice room. So we can go with that for now. And maybe we'll come back here in case the boss is like, nope, you missed something. I'm like, okay, dang it. But I almost feel like there should be something here. All right. We'll go to the other side though. For now. So I'll take the other path through this T-shaped room. Oh, so good, dude. So good. Well, what's cool is that, you know, it's not relying on a bunch of like small details to create this vibe. You just have like these bigger shapes, you know, like I said, Gildan walls, pillars, beams. That's largely it. Oh, and then coffins as well. And then here you have like the walls on the side, and this otherwise what looks like it's just a T-shaped room, but they skinned it really hard. And then there's like some rocks here too. Some foliage there. I know for me it's like I go like way too detailed. Like I want to add like tons of little debris and spider webs and all this other stuff, and boy, that starts to eat up budget, you know, and that's biting me in the butt. Here though, we have like this, we have good use of space by using like these larger pieces without lots of those smaller details because it just allows for like very expansive builds like this. So let's explore like kind of what's going on in these sort of half rooms here. So we have like this kind of storage area, lots of candle work being done there. And then on this other end, still in the crypt area, you know, more storage stuff in this room, but it's actually kind of a, you know, this has a certain town hall kind of vibe, right? You know, they climb up here, they sort of do their thing, they read over the stuff. You know, there's some folks that are either sitting or working or whatnot. And then here's an upside down thing that I'm compelled to look at, but I'm going to hold off on that because I wanted to explore the left side first. Yeah, nice little platform over there. So we're going to go to this side, back again. And then there's a bit to explore here. So first is this. Oh, this looks creepy. Now we saw like the boss's room. There's like a whole library sort of thing. The presentation on this is awesome. I love that, especially because you have like a little bit of glow that, you know, you have like a backlight basically. That's neat. So over in this room, we got some like laboratory experiments and whatnot happening here. You know, experimenting with like the funny growth, corpses, I'm sure. But yeah, lots of studying like that weird growth that was coming through. And then here, what is this? This is an object. Yeah. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Not a table, because the table's filled with like a cage or something. I don't know. But it looks hella cool. It's just neat. It's like, yo, guys, check out the thing. Ooh, it's a cool thing. I don't know what it is, but that's a cool thing, right? That's awesome. And all of the kind of these, we got warlock stuff, we got demon hunter stuff on the side. Folks are up to, let's go with no good as the answer to that. Okay, so now we're going through like this sort of secret passageway. It's very, very dark here. Very cavey, very minimal lighting. And oh boy, we are not done yet. What kind of crazy place is this? So a little bit of technology coming through. Again, with the walls, we have this little control panel to like take us into the next dimension. Yeah. All right. So where's this going to take us? It's going to take us to a house, sort of. Okay, so back here, dark portal, you know, very dressed up, almost intimate. But now, yeah, vibe has changed a lot. So we're no longer in ruins, right? So we're sort of going backwards here. Now we're in this sort of like Venthyr styled home. And this almost looks like the foyer, like the actual entrance to the place. Like here, there is no real door. This is the only way in. And that kind of fits with some of that Venthyr style. So let's do this climb now. We'll see what's going on up here in this stairwell room. Because there's kind of a lot. There's like some, oh boy, this like sort of void energy harnessing thing happening over here. At least one of these void balls is being used to very dramatic effect. Really cool looking. Yeah, and piping is going along here towards the top. These beams are being used as supports of sorts. Chain, yeah, it's very creepy looking. It's like I'm no longer in this ruined area, but do I feel safe? Nope, not at all. Ooh. And then now we venture into this bedroom at last. So it turns out there is a house inside this crypt. Here's our place to sleep. And yeah, check out how it's skinned. So here, I'm going to back up some, right? This is a transition from the stairwell room to another room. You know, you can kind of see the floor down there. But you can also see here, like, you know, it's skin, carpets here, and then we have a whole bunch of beams that are being set up. We go up this platform, step 1, step 2, and then we have Gilnean walls lined up all across here to create this raised bed area. Complete with, oh boy, with Kool-Aid. Yeah. Kool-Aid on the side. So it's like, yo, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to have myself a delicious drink. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Take that, wipe my mouth clean. Good to go. See, there's the bottle of the stuff, you know? Kool-Aid. Very much Kool-Aid. Now, what's interesting here is that you have like these sorts of contrasts. Now, again, it's kind of a venter spot, but you do have some growth. You have some greens, but they're very selective on the greens. You have some little bits of contrast here too, with these brighter blues, which is helping to build what looks like a funny bathtub. Okay, a red bathtub. Some more Kool-Aid. Awesome. You know, this appears to be using the Dorngol hot tub, but you have a rug down there to, you know, skin it red, make it nice and lovely. Love how the place is like filled up. Even like this huge like troll temple fountain made a very good use. Everything's filled up. Not so much up top here, but the fact that we have the Cinderai paneling up here in this room fits really, really good. Really good. And then what is right back here? A place for someone to sit. We've had a few places like here, but I'd say this is like the nicest of them, the most cozy, if you want to call this cozy. I mean, this place is creepy as heck. I would not survive a walkthrough here. I'd be bolting. Ooh. But now, on the side of this room, because we're in this whole other dimension kind of thing, we are definitely in like some Narnia spot. We are, yeah, somewhere in like the twisting nether or something like that. Oh, that's cool. Love how this all comes together, you know, using the paving stones and like this sort of angle, because this is the only way that we really look at it, to create these sorts of effects. That's sick. And here's a place that just kind of smoke and vibe and like hang out. Yeah, so this is definitely the most chill place out of everything we've seen. Oh, I'm gonna zoom out now, and we'll see what we have here. So here's the path out. Oh, that's cool. It has that whole tower kind of vibe to it. Yeah, here's the path to the gazebo area, and then everywhere else here, it looks like it's just meant to be like seen from down here. So let's go back to this shot. Yeah, some really awesome work. I mean, I'd love to know what's up there, but I don't think I'll be able to get a good peek of that. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get like really lucky with like my camera angles if I want any hope of seeing like what's above that. But I don't think we're meant to. It just feels like we are in this like other ruined part of this dimension. Sure. Cool. Very, very cool. We ain't done yet either. You know, we're still going. So I'm gonna backtrack some. We're gonna run back through the vent there spots. I just barely noticed that this is a kind of a fountainy spot too. Very lovely. So we retreat back here, back into the ruined crypt. Man, this place is massive. So this is a secret spot. Here's like the cool thing that we don't know what it is. We retreat back. Boom. And now we're back at kind of this spot. So now we're going to go, I think, this way. So again, we've returned to the crypt area and we're going to continue trying to explore and see the rest of this. Hey, look, place for drinks. That's totally safe. Fine. Here we have a door. that leads us to nothing. Actually, no, this is a prison cell. Yeah, so someone got locked up in here. Sucks for them. And then through here is a secret, which is, oh, this is the place that we saw. Okay. Okay, so we were here. And it just happened to be a secret. Okay. Interesting. All right. And now I believe we're going through here. I think this is... Let me double check, sorry. I think this is the only other path for us to go, because we were like here, and then here was like the whole library where the boss was, right? There they are again. Still. Okay, so now we're going here, and then here. And here, I think. Okay, and that was a prison thing. Okay, so here we are. All right. I think we got it. So now we climb up these walls, apparently. So we're climbing up these wall sets here. Very cool use of making these work too. And then we have this full Death Knight altar. Oh boy. As if this wasn't enough. Yeah, so whoever necromancer mage person set this up, they did a great job. And by that, I mean, like, they never got caught. Argent Dawn or whoever never found this crypt. And they are pumping out corpses and experiments and who knows what. All primed and ready for an Azeroth invasion. Fantastic place. This is awesome. This was really awesome. I can't even imagine just how much work went into walling up so much of the space. Like, I know I'm walking slow and everything, but it feels like we're covering so much ground, and there's like so many of these walls that have been put out. That's crazy. Very cool. Very cool. Thanks for letting us visit.